Right, in this section, we're going to dive a little bit deeper on the text widget. We have used the text widget twice. We've used it up here in the app bar to say my first app, and we've used it here in the body for the hello world. So let's do this. Let's make this string a little bit longer to begin with. So instead of hello world, let's say welcome to our first Flutter application. All right, so not a whole lot different. The string is a little bit longer. We're not to the point where we're actually wrapping yet. So let's explore a few properties on the text widget. And one of them that you're going to use a lot is style. And I'm going to take that down to the next line just to keep it clear. The style property is going to take a helper widget. So not a widget that's going to appear on the screen, but a widget that helps you perform other functions such as styling in this case. So we're going to do a text style widget, and that opens parentheses. And if I hit Control Spacebar, has its own list of properties. And so these are all of the properties that you can change that will affect the style of your text widget. So I'm going to start with font size. Now font size will take a double. And so if I put 15.0 like this, it gets just a little bit bigger. All right, so this cannot be an integer like this. It can't be 15. It needs to be 15.0. All right, so let's up that to 35. So that's going to get a lot bigger. It is going to wrap. Also available in here is color. So let's change the color to orange. So we're going to do colors dot, let's do deep orange so it's legible like that. And we have seen how colors work briefly when we put colors.blue here in our theme data up in the app. That incidentally is why this app bar is blue. If we had selected colors brown here, then our app bar would be brown. And let's do one more property here in the text style that you might use quite a bit, which is font weight. And font weight also uses a helper widget called font weight. But this one doesn't open with parentheses, it just has a dot, and then we're going to specify a property. So we have some real easy ones up here, bold and normal. Or you can go ahead with the specific thickness that you want. So W900 is as bold as it gets, and W100 is as thin as it gets. So you can fine tune the weight that you want. But I'm just going to use font weight.bold, and we're going to see that gets a lot bolder there. All right, so why don't I format that? And I'm going to come outside of the text style widget because now I want to do, that's enough styling. I want to actually do another property on text. So this was all part of the style property, this text style widget. I want to set a property called text align. This is another one that you might use quite a bit. And so this is going to use a helper widget that has the dot syntax. So text align dot. And these are all the alignments that we can put on the text field. So some of these should make sense. Left, right, start. I am going to center that text like that, and we can see the text moves to the middle. Now be aware that this only moves to the middle because the text widget is taking up the entire width of the screen. If we were to go back to, say, 15.0, then we can see that this does not actually center on the screen. It centers within the text widget, which is only as wide as it needs to be. So that can be a little frustrating when you're first learning Flutter and you want to center a piece of text and you're not sure why that's not happening. Text align is only going to align it within the text widget. We're going to need an alignment widget if we want to take widgets that are smaller than the screen and move them around on the screen. And we'll cover that in the next unit. But for now, just be aware that text align center is only going to actually center the text if you are wrapping around on the screen, or if you have one line that happens to be taking up the entire width of the screen.